So he's doing the same thing that Freddie did straight away on the first Saver Cars, which is everyone that is riddled with ADHD that sits in that seat starts fiddling with the clip on there.
Well, yeah, I mean, I want it to be like perfectly central, and it's just nice.
That's not why you're doing it. It's not why you're doing it at all.
Because you make me nervous.
Just before we kick off our second ever episode of Save Our Cars today, and thank you for Alex for joining me in the van again. I just wanted to start off by saying we were deeply saddened by what happened at Bicester recently with a terrible fire where 3 people lost their lives. And you've done events at Bicester. Gert Wings, my business, has done events for you at Bicester at Food and Fuel. And it's somewhere that I've gone since I was younger. So we just wanted to say that £500 of today's sponsor fee is going to the firefighters charity to support their work and the bravery of those people that entered those buildings, which we've now can see that some of them don't come back.
Yeah.
So I just thought that was really important to say, kicking things off. But moving on, how have you been, man? You've been up to a lot of things. The channel's flying.
Yeah, it's doing all right. Yeah, thanks. Well, thanks for having me on again. Is this the 3rd time now? Second or third?
I was trying to add it up in my head. It would have been easier just to add it up on the channel. But that was clearly too much work. I believe this is now your 3rd time in the back of this van.
Yeah. How am I doing? I'm doing all right. A little bit sleep deprived. I've got a day off today. Today is Friday. I say I've got a day off. I'm in the van with you. But that's okay. And I was editing this morning. I'm not at the unit. That's what I mean to say. But no, yeah, channel's doing really well. I'm happy in my personal life. My daughter's fantastic. My wife's doing really well. And I've got a Sam Fender gig tonight to go to.
So you're really excited?
I'm really excited. Yeah. So I've got to get to Stratford, East London tonight. And just have a really nice time away from baby, have a couple of beers and just get back to normal life.
It's amazing to kind of say that because a lot of the YouTubers that I have in the van are literally like bang, 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 bang for like 10 years with no give up. Do you sometimes feel like you've done your stint of bang, bang, bang and you're really trying?
Ben, I've been banging for 10 years. I have been banging for 10 years. No, I mean, during my Car Throttle days.
And now you have a baby.
And now I have a baby, exactly, yeah. During my Car Throttle days, it was relentless. You know, I would work weekends, I would work on Christmas Day, yada, yada, yada. I did that for about 10 years. And then I decided, you know what, I want to work for me and build up a new community. And here we are. So now I wouldn't say that I'm taking my foot off the gas, but I have a different perspective on life. You know, we were talking earlier when we were going to go get some coffees just now. You know, we were talking earlier when we were just going to get some bottles of water about, you know, you said, how's the channel going? And I said, do you know what, Ben? I'm not focused on numbers. I just want to be happy with the videos that I produce. And I want to do those videos, not only for me, but for my friends and, you know, for the community of car lovers that we've built up. I'm not chasing numbers. I'm bored of that now. I'm over it.
When becoming used to being okay with having free time when you've been so bang, 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 do you ever get moments during that kind of transition where you feel a bit guilty that you're not working like you used to all the time?
I don't have free time. I genuinely don't have free time because my hobby is my work and vice versa. So I'm always doing something that will either benefit the channel or benefit my mental health, be it driving cars or trying to fix cars or spending time with car people. So there is no let up. I'm never on the sofa doing nothing or just watching. Sometimes I do watch other YouTube channels in the evenings and stuff, but I'm always switched on. So I wouldn't say there's any guilt because I don't actually switch off. If I switched off, I'd be so bored as well. So I always like to keep busy.
Well, something that you also mentioned on our little journey down to grab some water a minute ago was the fact that you are towards a team of 27 people now.
Yeah.
In the Auto Alex multiverse.
Yeah.
I don't think you bring that across as much to people won't know that there is so many people, is my point, because they see you, they see Taylor, they see Rory, they see Will and Edward and all the boys that are associated in front of the camera. 27 people, that's a lot of people to keep roofs over their heads and everything else. Does that not become stressful?
Well, no, because everyone knows what they're doing. Everyone enjoys their job. Everyone does really well from it. So everyone kind of looks after what they need to look after. So I'm not the overlord managing. You know, Rory is very good at managing people. I tried to do that. I wasn't very good at it. And I hate managing people. And I just want to do YouTube and I just want to just drive cars and build cars and just go on adventures. So I've handed over the reins to Rory. We also have Gabor, who's head of partnerships. He deals with all of that stuff. I used to do those things for the first 2 years and I was very, very, very close to burnout. There were a couple of times where I was like, do you know what? This is probably too much. But now like I said, I trust everyone who works for us. We've got editors, we've got like a runner now. There's just so many people, but everyone is just like friends. And when we're all together and when we all have dinner together, I just look around and I'm like, it's just a really good bunch of people. And we're all here for the same reason. We love shit cars.
I've got to know Emily as well, who had her own automotive events, and she's now running a lot of events for you guys as well. I know you still do stuff with Chiro and ShedFest, etc. But I recently went to Food and Fuel.
Yeah.
That was your first Food and Fuel event. What was it? Who came up with the concept, and like, when's the next one?
So that was actually pretty much Chris. So Chris Hill, I've known him for 28 years. We're kind of best friends. He's also from the local area. Chris heads up merch, so he's doing really well with that. More on that in a bit, because you've been helping us with that as well. And Chris thought, you know, we go to a lot of car events. The cars are great, but sometimes the food is a bit of an afterthought. So we wanted to combine great food with great people and a great vibe, and just make a really cool car show, keep it, you know, more intimate. And then we went to Bicester. We did the first Food and Fuel. You were there with Gertwings, and it was just such a really nice vibe. So we're trying to keep that up, and intimacy is key. There's no stage, there's no pretense. It's literally really cool car show with amazing food. So the next one, September the 21st at Shelsley Walsh, we're doing a hill climb. All of our kind of YouTubery friends and also people who buy tickets have the opportunity to drive their cars up the hill and kind of find out how quick they are against me and TDC and whoever else.
It's really nice, actually, because even from a street food perspective with Gertwings there, there's not that word competition is very different when people do different types of food. And, you know, some days you're in the mood for chicken wings, like me, and you absolutely love them. And some days you're just not. And like,
when are you not in the mood for chicken wings? I love chicken wings.
Food and Fuel actually had the Antonio Street tie.
Yeah.
That she's runs the business, and she goes there. And her food is absolutely sensational. And there's actually a pork one they do on top of chips and stuff like that. And like, there's so much good food out there. So like, someone that's actually thought to put those two things together finally and make it more of a thing is
exactly right. Yeah, we put food at the center of the car show as well. So we had all of the benches in the center, so you can pick the food that you want, go and chill with some amazing food, and then just go and check out some awesome cars and come and meet us as well.
We're also off the back of ShedFest.
Yeah.
Where how many people went?
8,600.
And it was a bit smoother this year, right?
It was quite a lot smoother, yeah. There were no queues for people getting in. We had loads of entertainment, loads of amazing people, all the gear, Top Dead Center, Gareth, Ben from Dad Cars, you were there. It's like, no, you weren't. No, you weren't.
I wasn't very well that morning.
That's why it ran so smooth. Did you get pissed up?
No, I genuinely wasn't very well that morning.
Did you have too many Gertwings?
Did you actually? It was a bit. All I could say is occasionally the hot sauce gets to me in ways that I wish it didn't.
No, but ShedFest was really cool. We had like Dodgems as well. We played Dodgems football, which turned into Carnage. Loads of stage stuff. Gave away a car. Gave away tool chests, and try to meet and take pictures with as many people as possible. I was thinking for next year, I'd love to have one of those clicky counter things, just to see how many like selfies are taken, because I reckon it's got to be like 1,000. It's really cool, really cool.
And for you, from starting all the way back, we've covered your story before in your first ever episode, and then how the channel was developing with Auto Alex when you come on again.
Yeah.
But do you still pinch yourself that many people come to a show?
It is mad. Yeah, it is crazy. And like, even you inviting me onto the podcast, I'm like, I don't think I'm that interesting, and I don't think I've really got that much of a story to tell, but you keep on inviting me back. You must be really desperate. But the community that we've built up are like-minded. We all love the same thing. I don't live above my means. Like, whatever I own and drive is what I can afford. I don't finance anything, and I hope that makes me, maybe a little bit more relatable on YouTube than other people. So, no, but to be fair, what you drive, you can afford, right?
No.
Okay.
I'm totally overdone at the minute. Don't remind me of it.
No, but you're doing really well. That's my point. But for me, I just like to keep it a bit more back to basics. And, if we do a video on a Thursday where we buy shit cars and go on an adventure, hopefully people can watch that and say to their mates, oh, yeah, whoever your friends are, the guys have done this. Let's do the same thing next weekend or even this weekend. It is that easy to get into.
The video I watched was essentially you your recent upload was
Yeah.
driving 400 miles to Glasgow. It was you went, wasn't it?
Edinburgh.
Oh, it was Edinburgh. I
Yeah,
got them
yeah.
wrong. People will hate me. Mike Fernie will be in the comments like you're so uneducated.
He's the ultimate troll, yeah.
Well, the other boys went via public transport
Yeah.
all the way to the top. And that genuinely is, if you sit down with your mates, something that you can just do on a weekend, isn't it? Do you ever hear people like replicating your challenges?
Yeah, 100%, 100%. Yeah, and there's other kind of YouTube channels that have kind of popped up doing a similar sort of thing as well, and they're doing really well as well. There's a guy called Money Pit Matt. Shout out to him. He actually buys all of our cars that we use on adventures and cheap car challenges and repurposes them, and then just
it's like
gives them
shitbox recycling.
I know,
limited.
it's great. It's great. Yeah, it's like proper one of those weird loop things where a car never dies. But that's fantastic. That's what I like to hear.
Is the limo still back at HQ?
No, the limo that's long gone actually.
Was that long gone? How did you
Yeah.
send the limo off? Did I miss it?
Someone bought it, and then someone else bought it, fixed it all up because it had quite a lot of rust issues. So I don't know where it's gone now.
Did you used to trim the hedge around the limo? I was fascinated by this because the limo used to sit underneath, I think it's a Leylandi hedge.
Okay,
For
yeah.
those that are hedge specialists
Yeah.
listening. And when you looked at it at the side outside the unit, it looked like the hedge had perfectly been trimmed around the shape of the car.
I think
sat
it might. I
underneath
think the car had been there for so long that the foliage has actually worked its way around it. Yes.
It was quite a distinct smell of urine.
Yeah,
around
there was
the
also a
car
rat
as
in
well.
there as well. A rat actually ate through a lot of that car.
How many cars ahead do you sometimes own for videos?
I'm not that organised, but thank you. Sometimes I'll just buy a car, like I did that at Wheeler Dealer Live at Bicester. I bought a car because I wanted it, and then I'm like, shit, we need to make a video about this car. And then we do that. So it's usually accidental. But if we were doing like a challenge, for example, like the rare car challenges, for example, that we did recently, I bought a Volvo 480 Turbo. Taylor also bought a Rover 220 Tomcat. So we bought that maybe 3 weeks in advance of filming, figured out that they were okay, road legal, tarted them up, and then we went on our adventure.
And that's with a £3,000 budget per car.
Exactly, yeah.
Do any of the boys ever, do you think, push that? Do you think they're really sticking to the budget sometimes, or is there any competitive spirit?
There's always competitive spirit. So we've actually got a track car series coming up. And that's All the Gear, Top Dead Centre, and Auto Alex. So we're all doing a versus, a big kind of collab, where we've got £500 to buy a track car, £500 to tart it up, and then we're taking it to Landau Circuit, actually next week, to find out who's got the fastest car. So we've bought our car, Top Dead Centre have bought their car, but they didn't buy it for £500. So they are definitely bending the rules already, but they're trying to work out some ways in which it works. So yes, the rules are bent.
It's getting a little bit warm in this van today as
Yes.
well. So I've decided it is time. It is mid-afternoon for one of these. This is a Holy Energy. I know you're very familiar because
Yes.
they also partner with you.
They do indeed, yeah.
Is it important to actually partner with people that you genuinely use their products? Do
Oh,
you think the
100
audience can see through if you don't?
Yeah, 100%. If I was doing something where I was wanting to buy a supercar and there was a finance company helping me to buy a supercar, people would see straight through that. It's bullshit. But hydration is very important. I genuinely like this stuff. TDC also like this stuff. So we do use this quite a lot.
Well, the thing for us is me and Toby used to drink other cans of energy drinks while on the way to the podcast and stuff. But you can only really have a few of those stored in a pretty tight van studio.
Yeah.
So for us, having something that you can just open and pour into a cup, literally like this, and then shake.
Yeah.
Nope.
Oh, no. This is why you don't mix it with sparkling water. He's put sparkling water. You've also
It's
not put the lid
because
on.
I didn't put the lid on.
Right, okay. But also, don't use sparkling water. Sparkling water's disgusting. Look, all you need to
I
do,
never
right,
genuinely put the lid on properly.
is you
then.
put your
There
holy
we go.
pouch in the holy shaker, close the lid, don't use sparkling
I
water,
quite like it with sparkling water.
give it a shake, and then the taste test.
Sparkling water just adds. It's like holy plus 10. Like, it's already good. I typically like the red ones.
That's good.
Raspberries and strawberries, because I don't know, I've always liked a kind of red beverage. I know it's a bit weird, but that's a little bit of me. But so yes, that was total carnage, but genuinely it is really easy when you've just got a box of Holy lying around in the van constantly to make quick, easy, healthy, and affordable drinks on the go without having to store loads of unhealthy cans. So I recommend you try one of Holy's starter sets, which starts at just $19.99. The starter set comes with free shipping and a free shaker as well. Just make sure that you screw on the lid properly. And it also comes with Holy's 7 best-selling flavors. So make sure that you find your favorite. Holy actually has a brand new flavor in its hydration range called Hydration Watermelon, which is also incredibly refreshing, especially now we're into the summer months. Use code BENPOD5 for £5 off your first order with a minimum spend of $14.99, or code BENPOD for any bigger orders or any orders after your first one for 10% off. The link to Holy is in the description below and the pinned comment. Thank me later. Genuinely might change your life. Right.
Why have you got a toilet roll in the back of a podcast van?
That's for when the Gertwings goes wrong.
Oh, okay.
That's literally for when the Gertwings.
This van doesn't double up for something else at night time, does it?
No, it doesn't.
Okay, good, yeah.
It doesn't double up.
And the next guest is Bonnie Blue.
So we're obviously doing this style of episode now. It's called Save Our Cars, which is completely off the cuff, a little bit more free. I'm able to get involved a little bit more. And really, you are the king of saving cars. The amount of engine swaps, the amount of shit, dead cars that have been under trees for years that you've brought back. I'm going to ask you something that's the complete opposite. I know you said a minute ago about supercars and finance, etc. Have you ever thought, do you know what? That McLaren, I've just got to tick the box once. I remember you driving a 570 on Car Throttle years ago.
Yeah.
France to literally get some chocolate milkshake.
Yeah.
Have you ever thought I need to scratch the itch here?
No.
Not once.
Genuinely not. Supercars just don't do it for me. They are...
Is it,
for me,
what is it? Is it the image?
For me, it's a status icon. And I dress like shit. My wife even said to me, "What are you wearing on your feet? Those shoes are disgusting." And I look like shit. So I apologize. Like I said, I like to live within my means. And I also prefer cars that are older, have character, have history, are lighter weight, aren't as fast, aren't as scary to drive, because those are the type of cars that you can drive at 10 tenths. If I were to drive any of your cars at 10 tenths and actually explore their limits, we'd all be in big trouble, and so would you. So for me, I just like more basic cars, lighter weight, and stuff that I can just afford and then move on.
Would you consider like a Cayman GT4, like Lotus Emira, like going to, because that's kind of somewhere in between what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And they're light.
Yeah.
They're mid-engined. They're definitely affordable.
So yeah, maybe if a Cayman GT4 was like, I don't know, 15 years old.
And by the way, I say that because Alex is now extremely successful as much as he hides it. So I wasn't saying that as a general comment. I was saying that for Alex.
Yeah. No, I mean, a GT4, I would never buy a new car. I'll put it out there. I will never buy a new car. But a GT4, fantastic car. Maybe in, I don't know, 5 or 10 years' time, I might consider it. High mileage one would be really cool as well, you know.
If someone from the Auto Alex team were to turn up with a supercar one day at HQ, completely unannounced, who would it be?
Completely unannounced, who would it be?
Rory? In like a DB11 or something?
Oh, yeah. I mean, Rory does like his nice flash motors. He does, yeah. He does like British cars as well. So Taylor also, he's a bit of a tart when it comes to cars. He likes his really nice cars as well. I mean, he drives around in an M5 and stuff like that, which for me, it's a bit too much, but it suits him down to the ground. But yeah, maybe I could see Rory driving something very flash.
Rory appears quite a bit on camera now. He is in front of the camera, but when I'm around him, it always seems quite difficult to get Rory on camera.
Yeah.
Like, has he become more in front of the camera as the years have gone on?
I think it's a bit hit and miss, really. I think Rory is all new to the kind of being in front of the camera on YouTube. And like anyone who does YouTube, you know, you get some hate, you get some people who just want to put you down because maybe they're not having a good day or anything like that. So when you're new to YouTube and you see those comments about yourself, it's very hard not to take those personally. And sometimes with certain people, you know, it does really knock your confidence. And you think, you know what, no one likes me because I've seen one comment out of 1,000 that was negative towards me. So, yeah, so some of the comments have been, personally quite damaging maybe. But I think maybe Rory's learnt a little bit from me that it doesn't matter. People are going to hate you. They're going to love you. As long as you're doing you and you're being authentic to yourself, don't worry about what people say on YouTube, because you do get the best and worst of people on YouTube. So as long as you're doing what you want to do in life. That should really be the only thing that's important.
Do you ever take notice of some of the... is there like constructive criticism comments, or is it either just like really nice, totally?
I love constructive criticism. If someone's gonna, be not mean, but if they're going to put me down in inverted commas, but they can actually back it up, then I will read it and I will learn from it. But sometimes people are they just want to make you feel really bad. So those type of comments are literally like water off a duck's back. And I hope the same for you as well, because, you get hate, everyone gets hate. Matt Armstrong sometimes gets hate. Tavarish, everyone does, because we're in the public eye. So, yeah, it's really important not to take it personally. Back to Rory, he's kind of learnt to not sweat the small stuff, really. So he wants to be in front of camera, so he's doing it more. And that's completely on his terms.
Do you think I'll get him in front of the microphone?
Oh, I don't know
some
about
stories.
That. I don't know about that.
It is a 50-50, isn't it? Every time I ask him, it's like he really wants to, and then he goes, just give it a month or two.
I think one-on-one is quite intense when you're with your mates and it's in an open environment and you're not locked in a casting couch environment. Then it's okay. But yeah, this is this can be quite intimidating for people. Please subscribe to Road to Success podcast because it's really nice, isn't it?
Well, we had planned to do this at your unit with the back doors open with the cars in the background, but we couldn't quite make this work this time. So we are literally, for context, squeezed in the world's tightest car parking space.
In my local park.
In London, in your local park. I read a stat on Google, using its new AI thing that always comes up when you search things, that the average person owns 15 cars over the course of their lifetime.
It's not a week, is it?
Genuine question.
Yeah.
Do you reckon if you guessed how many cars you've owned, you could get within 10? Or 15? Get within 15, that figure.
I think I could. Yeah, because every car I've loved in its own secret, weird way. Because I've bought a car because I wanted a car. When I was at uni, doing my undergraduate at Exeter University, I bought and sold cars to fund uni, really. So I bought like a Polo bread van, I bought an Astra, I bought a 406, bought them cheap, fixed them up a little bit, and then sold them on. Also, my best friend Gareth as well, he's bought quite a few Peugeots. We've tarted those up and raced those around the local lanes and stuff like that. So I think I could probably remember all of them, but I'm not going to do it on the podcast because it would take a long time.
Do you genuinely think if you sat down with a pen and paper all day and racked your brain that you could remember them?
I reckon I could get within 5.
And how, roughly, what number is that?
Probably, I would say maybe like 80.
To be fair, that's actually less than what I expected for the amount of vehicles that you've gone for over the years.
Maybe I'm underestimating. No, I'd say 80 is about right.
How long has it been since right at the start of Car Throttle now?
I started Car Throttle September 2012.
There's a long time, to be fair. That 80 divided down, that's actually less than I expected. I've got a slight suspicion.
Well, then there's years before as well, me just buying and selling cars as well. So there's probably another 15 before that.
A lot of the cars that come on the channel, when you're like doing a challenge, do the guys tend to buy those out of their own pocket and kind of trade them as well? Or do you like have to give like a budget over for that?
Yeah, no, I mean, it's all bought from channel money.
Okay.
So yeah, our channel money, Top Dead Center's channel money, all the gear as well. So they buy the cars, tart them up, and then do with what they like.
And that's where they go afterwards. They then go to your friend with the other channel that then tarts them up and continues down their life.
Pretty much, yeah.
The problem is with all of us, we just saw Sam Hard bidding on KSI's.
Yeah, that was
I
interesting.
don't know what it was.
That was wild.
At Mike Brewer's auction.
Yeah, that was a VW Lupo.
You also bought a car that day, but you haven't released it on the channel yet. Am I right?
Yeah, I can tell you what it is.
Go on.
It's a Peugeot 309 GTI. So it's a 205 GTI, but just a bit longer. 1.9 engine, and it's fantastic. Yeah.
What makes it fantastic? Go on, sell it to me as someone that's not driven anything like that. Okay. What makes it fantastic?
Old, French, hot hatch, lightweight, back to basics, iconic, values are going up as well. And it's fun. It's pure.
Did you exceed what you wanted to pay for that car during
I did
that
not.
auction?
I did not. No.
Not like our friends that paid double for theirs.
No, exactly, yeah. I had in my head that car on a really good day would be worth 15, and I paid with fees 12,650.
Is there a car, like during those, you must have been in God knows how many auctions, that you're like, you fully regret not going through with the purchase of, looking back?
That's an interest. There were quite a few at that auction that I could have bid on. There was also another Clio Williams. That was actually a Cat C write-off, but it had been like nut and bolt restored. I think that went for 18 grand. And I have that exact car already. So I'm going through the restoration process. But had that not been Cat C, and it wasn't actually written on the blurb that it was Cat C, had it not been Cat C, I probably would have paid 18 grand for that car because they're worth like 30 grand. It's crazy.
My pick of that room was a black Aston Martin V8.
That's because you're a tart.
No, but
do you know how much that went for?
No, I'm fascinated to know.
18 grand.
Did it? Because that was the low end of the reserve that it had on it. It was 18 to 22. I walked past it and I just thought, wow, that paint looks mint.
Yeah. It had 51,000 miles on the clock. I actually spoke to the new owner actually at the desk where you get all the information.
He got a right deal on that.
Yeah, he was super happy as well. Yeah, super happy.
See, I've never bought a car via auction in my life.
It's so much fun. It's so much fun. However, when I bought the 309 GTI, it was at 9 grand. No one in the room was bidding, and it was at 9 grand for 30 seconds. I was like, holy shit, I bought this car. And then all of a sudden, a telephone bidder comes in and bids me up to 11. And I'm like, does this telephone bidder actually exist? Like, I don't know. Is this a thing? Because I've not really bought cars at auction very much, but you know, you could be being bid up. You never know. But that's part of the game, isn't it?
When was the first time you bought a car at auction? Do you remember that?
Yeah, that was Letchworth. No, it wasn't. No, that was before with Ethan and Jack. What did I buy with Ethan and Jack? Oh, my brain. Oh, I think I bought... Did I buy an Amiga or something? I think I may have bought an Amiga. I can't remember. I bought something with Ethan and Jack many years ago. It did very well because it was like, I don't know, it was like 300 quid or so from a shit auction. And even though you're buying shit cars, it's so exciting. It is exhilarating, putting your hand up and just bidding against people.
Just a quick note for anybody that's watched a Road to Success episode before. This is the second episode in a new Thursday series called Save Our Cars. This is completely unscripted, just general chit-chat, loads of interruption, loads of carnage, fun, debates, anything that comes into our heads. So if you want to see the standard Road to Success episodes of how our guests got to where they are today, they go live on a Monday, and this is a new format for our die-hard fans going live on a Thursday to give them something that they can listen to every week as long as you enjoy it. So if you think that I'm interrupting a bit more than normal, if you think it's slightly different, it is. So Thursdays, Save Our Cars. Mondays, Road to Success. You've been on many journeys recently with these cars as well, and you always have to like pick and find a new route to go down and somewhere that you maybe haven't done before or cover it in a different way. Yeah. You mentioned on a previous podcast that one day you would love to drive on the Great Wall of China.
Oh yeah, you remember that?
Have you made any progress on that?
No, I haven't. No, I haven't. I don't know. Yeah, I've just got it in my head. How cool would it be just to drive on the Great Wall of China? I don't even know if that's a thing. Probably not. But, you know, I'm sure Mr. Beast, if he wanted to, could make it happen.
So why can't you?
Because he's like a proper big dog, isn't he? He's like, anyone would let him do anything. But for me...
do you not think you guys could get that done?
I don't think so. I don't think we've got enough clout. And also, I don't know if it's actually legal to do it. So maybe one day.
Where does the idea come from to drive on the Great Wall of China?
I don't know. I just sometimes have like random weird ideas that I just have to see through, and I just get obsessed.
Have you had any of them come to fruition that you could like say like you had this random idea and then this video came out of it in the last period of time?
Okay, so on a much, much, much smaller scale, about 3 months ago, I think I woke up and I was like, I need to buy myself a Clio Williams. I don't know where it came from. I don't know if I'd seen it, but I just woke up. I was like, I have to buy one. So I obsessed about Clio Williams for about a month, looking everywhere, couldn't find one. And then one of my Instagram followers messaged me and said, there's one on eBay for £4,000. It's a Cat C write-off. It's absolutely rusty. Try and buy it. And I phoned the man and he was like, yeah, okay, you can buy it. And I bought it for £4,000. So I'm going through a restoration of that car at the moment. So I get especially obsessed with cars. And then I just have to buy that car come hell or high water. And I will not take my eyes off the prize until I have it.
Christ, well, there's some people there that if they ever sell you a car, they know exactly what position you're going to be in.
Oh, yeah, I'll buy it. Yeah, I'll buy it. Yeah, just bid me up. It's fine. Yeah. Telephone bidder? Yeah, I'm yours.
How much time do you spend writing the videos like that come into your head? Because I've noticed like when we were stood at the Vegas sign, for example.
Yeah.
And it is really hard even doing a podcast with no like reference points and
Yeah.
getting used to it. But do you write kind of video scripts a little bit? I know a lot of it is off script, so that you remember to film everything and cover it off. Like, how much time do you spend writing?
So I will script out an intro to make it kind of flow well, and because the first like 3 seconds are so important on YouTube, so I'll try and make it as hard hitting and interesting as possible, and then we will just get in the cars, go on a road trip, and then nothing else is scripted after that. So we will know where we need to go. So like places that we want to visit and then talking points for there. But yeah, we kind of script as we go. But intro for me is very important to make sure that we get that right. Apart from that, it's pretty much free and easy.
That's kind of what I do for the main podcast is I have everything up until about halfway.
Yeah.
And then I'm just like on my own from halfway kind of thing. And it helps so much doing it that way, I find.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, by then it's taken its own kind of story, hasn't it? Yeah.
Well, the first episode I did with Save Our Cars was last week, and it was with Freddie Tavares.
Oh, yeah.
Who mentioned to me that he bought a car.
We got some serious beef, me and Freddie.
And he mentioned your name.
Did he?
Was it not your yellow Ferrari?
It was my yellow Ferrari until it was not my yellow Ferrari.
What happened?
We've got some serious YouTuber beef. We're actually going to be getting in the ring soon and fight it out. So basically, Freddie wanted to buy the Ferrari. We agreed a price, which is exactly the same price that I paid a few months ago.
Which is
25 grand. Yeah.
Okay.
So I bought it as a non-runner. It's now a runner. It drives, it stops, but it's not road legal, and it needs a lot of work. So I said, yeah, sure, you can have it, because he wanted to import it, because it's 25 years old. 1999 that thing was made. And Freddie's really busy. Like he's an international superstar. He comes to the UK so much, and he's got so many projects on the go. And he said, look, would it be a massive pain in the ass if I didn't buy that Ferrari and if I bought something else? Because he's bought something else. And I was like, do you know what? It's been on my car stacker for like 6 months with your name on it. It's not going to put me out. It's fine. Also, that car has been on there for so long. I hate seeing it. So I'm going to fix it and I'm going to drive it, because maybe that car will change my mind. Because I have no affinity to Ferrari. Ferrari for me is too flash, too ostentatious. I'm not about that life, even though I do have a Porsche 993. But I love Porsche. I love Porsche way over Ferrari. So now I'm like, do you know what? Stuff it. Let's fix that car.
Have you ever driven a lightweight mid-engined hardcore Ferrari?
I've driven a 458 and I've driven a 488.
Pistol Speciale?
Sure.
Like they do the super duper lightweight version.
I think it may have been a Speciale. Yeah.
That is a special car. To most, that is like one of the, to me, that's like a pinnacle car.
Yeah.
A Speciale. I just love the lightweight, ripped out nature.
Yeah.
And when I see that Ferrari and hear the price tag sat on your stacker, my brain does go into.
Do you want to buy it?
Well, have you seen Ratarossa's? It was at the event at the weekend at my brewer show. Yeah. Have you seen his Challenge Stradale 360?
Yes, I have. Yeah.
That's like one of my favourite cars ever.
Okay, yeah.
How much work does this thing need doing?
Oh, it just needs
no.
It needs a tyre, and it just needs an MOT. I would have done the MOT, but I'm just so busy, but it'll just fly through an MOT. It's a cut and shut, Ben. It was involved in a monumental crash back in the early 2000s. It was completely written off. I don't know if it was categorized. So yeah, that thing currently is not really road legal. We've also had a look at the frame that holds the engine, the kind of trellis frame. It's cracked. So the engine needs to come out. The frame needs to come out. The frame is also bent out of shape. It needs to be welded. There's a lot of work. It needs a lot.
Hearing that, I know you say, and I know you mean it, that you love making the type of content that you want to make.
Yeah.
Just occasionally, when led in bed at night, just thinking about the closing thoughts of work of the day, etc. You think, I could drop I bought a crashed Ferrari 360 and rebuilt it into the ultimate lightweight car. Does that go through your mind at all to do that? Or are you so uninterested with the whole rebuilding?
Well, I did kind of try and do that with the Ferrari.
I did see a couple of the first videos, but then it obviously hasn't continued.
Yeah, no, it didn't do really well. And ultimately, I wasn't really that motivated to get it back on the road. It's not a dream car of mine, so I was probably fighting an uphill battle with that. But now, I think I'm like with buying cars, I'm a bit like a dog with a bone now, and I just want to say that I and my friends have rebuilt that Ferrari, and I've driven it, and I want to take it to the Nürburgring. That would be really cool as well. So that for me is a new goal. Getting like an early 2000 supercar that I don't really care about. And I don't care about like cutting the arches, putting a wide body kit on it. You know, purists will hate me for that. You know what? It's my car. If you're so butthurt, you should have bought the car, but you didn't, so it's fine. So yeah, that's kind of the next project. So got to order a lot of parts.
So is one of your favourites your Porsche 993?
Porsche 993 is my dream kind of poster car that I had as a kid on my bedroom wall. And I was fortunate enough to be able to afford it. It was, and still is, the cheapest one in the UK because it's done 204,000 miles, but it's in really good nick. I've driven it a fair bit, not recently, admittedly, but I've now bought new wheels for it. I've got a nice big GT2 wing for it, splitter, and we're going to go on a Dream Cars kind of road trip soon. So me and that, Rory in his Aston, Taylor in his 635 CSI.
Do you think you'll keep that car forever?
Yes, that is one of my forever cars. I have a few forever cars, and that is one of them.
So where do you see yourself with quite an amalgamation of a collection in like 5 to 10 years and sort of needing somewhere for it as well?
Yes, I do actually. I am actually kind of really light touch looking for somewhere that I can store some of these cars. Because I do want to have a really cool collection of cars. And maybe one day, you know, when I'm getting towards retirement age in about 2 years, because I'm really old.
I thought you retired last week.
No, I look like it. I do want to just have like loads of really cool cars, and if it means that I can sell some to, you know, just live comfortably, then at least I've got that there as backup. And I just love collecting cool old cars.
See, I'm not about the cool old cars.
Yeah.
But I might be. I know I had the 930 Turbo. I didn't even know
that
properly
was
what
the
it was.
coolest car you ever owned.
But I thought I was literally letting go of something incredible, which I know many people say I was, to get into my new 911, which is a GT3 RS.
Yeah.
That car just spanks that 930 Turbo, man. I could not care less.
I know, yeah. Spank it around a racetrack on the Autobahn. But for me, it's all about the feeling of getting in that car, getting out of that car, looking back at it, taking pictures. I wouldn't take pictures of your car, your new car, genuinely, because anyone with enough money can go out and buy that car. A 930 Turbo, you have to look for months and months and months to find one that isn't a bit leggy, that is in good condition. I know yours is really special. It's like Monte Racing and everything. But look at you, you're getting triggered, aren't you? It's also got a black wrap on it, so... yeah, you need to take that wrap off.
Sick.
Yeah, but it's better in green. Also, Dizzy Rascal has got one in green.
I've seen that. I've already emailed him for a podcast. Like, as soon as I saw that clip, and I'm sure many people have seen it, go live of him in that 3RS.
Yeah.
I was like, must email for podcast. Imagine having Dizzy Rascal on the podcast.
That would be amazing. Yeah. But for me, older cars, the reason I love older cars is because I find them more involving. Well, a lot of the time, there's no power assisted steering, manual gearbox, pedal weights are quite heavy, and they're usually a bit shit and difficult to drive. I love the involvement.
If you had to pick like a 20-year period of the stuff that you really like, what would its kind of range be?
Its range would be 20 year. I can give you a 10 year, and it would be 85 to 95.
See, for me, it's 2008 to 2018.
Yeah.
That's the bit for me, like Speciale, 600 LT, Performante, like all these special, like lightweight, mid-engined supercars would like that. I just find it amazing, and I love them. And they're
Is it because you only have an automatic license?
I don't have an automatic license. We need to clear this up right now, right here.
But you
my 930 Turbo was manual.
You arrived in a Honda Jazz.
My 930 Turbo was manual.
Converted to auto.
My GR Yaris was manual.
Yeah. And you've sold them because they're manual and you only have an automatic license.
Well, the clutches were done.
Hey, apparently I'm king of like riding clutches.
Now, I may not be as passionate, nowhere near as passionate about the cars in your years that you love, sort of 80s to 90s, etc.
I'm also like a lot older than you as well.
But what I am passionate about is the stuff that sits around the garage.
Mm-hmm.
So when you talk about the fact that you want to maybe look for somewhere at some point,
Yeah.
one of the most amazing places I've ever been in the UK for like just feeling special for cars. Have you ever visited Zach's place? Zach's
Yes, I
garage?
have. Yeah, yeah. Do you know Zach's garage, right? I've got like this is true facts with Zach. His wall tiles, he's got wall tiles. They are scented wood. So you go in there and it smells like wood because his ceramic wall tiles have got wood scenting in them. It's amazing.
The detail that they've gone to over God knows how many years in that building is insane. Like for you with the age group of cars you love, but also for me, because there's a mixture of everything. You go around and you're like, this is insane. But what, for me, the bit that I genuinely look at when I go in there is the signs.
The signs are amazing, yeah. And also the fuel pumps and everything, the old Shell fuel pumps, it's incredible.
I actually bought at Mike Brewer's show at the weekend another sign. Every show that I go to, I don't know if you do this, but every show or place of significance that I go to as a car fan, I try and leave with something for the garage.
Yeah.
Like just to add to everything. And when I left...
Did you nick a road cone?
No, when I left when I left Mike Brewer Live, where all the team, your guys were there, I actually bought a sign from the guy that was a vendor over in the corner that said psychiatric ward.
Oh, really?
Please enter with caution to go right on my garage door.
No, that should go above your bedroom door, shouldn't it?
The point is, that's actually the stuff that gets me going is like, it's the environment you put the cars in, not just the cars themselves.
Yeah, so quite right.
How much old tat have you guys collected over the years to go with the cars? Is there like a corner somewhere that doesn't get shown on camera as much?
I mean, we do hoard car parts quite a lot, but in terms of like signage and stuff like that, we really don't. I mean, I do have all of my old number plates and stuff. I've got a box full of number plates for like significant cars, which I do nothing with, but I just like having them.
Are you always amazed how many tools you guys actually have to store now for the work across all the channels for TDC and Auto Alex and all the stuff? Because it wasn't like that in your Car Throttle days.
Oh, no. We didn't have a garage at all. No, we used to hire a bay in one of those places where you can literally just go and hire a bay for a day. We used to hire that at great expense. And now we each have our own units and we each have our own tools. And like having a lift, having a ramp is just amazing. It's mind blowing. And, you know, oil collecty things and compressors. It's like there's just so many cool toys that we have now that just makes working on cars infinitely easier, maybe less relatable because, you know, I started Car Throttle working on my driveway and, you know, doing a V6 conversion in my MX-5 with my friend Gareth on the driveway. And we would start at 10 in the morning and we'd be finished at 11 at night and piss off all the neighbours. And we would do that consistently, but that's relatable content. So maybe we've moved away from that a little bit, but we've grown up as well. So
I've started to see in a lot of your recent content on Auto Alex, have you been kind of getting more and more inspired by the travel nature of all the gear channel a little bit? Because even your challenges on Auto Alex like have elements of all the gear in them now. Like, is that a channel that you're also very, very passionate about?
Yeah, I love what those guys are doing, and I love the fact that I get to watch them traveling and doing, you know, low cost relatable content. You know, it's like Auto Alex or Car Throttle back in the day, but for travel. So they're keeping it real, and yeah, I do look at their adventures, and I think, you know what, maybe it would be fun doing that with a car as well. So, but I love traveling as well, and you know, exploring new environments in cars.
Do you watch every single video that goes out across all the Auto Alex multiverse?
I do not. No.
Do you think you even watch half?
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, I would say I watch 3/4, probably more, but I probably miss a few because. For example, we have a second channel, V2. Top Dead Center also have their second channel, 2 Dead Center. They have the Cream podcast as well, which is completely separate from anything that we do. Cream podcast belongs to Edwin and Will. That's nothing to do with us. So if I were to try and keep up with everything that everyone produces, I don't think I'd ever get anything done.
How many videos do you think go out a week in the Auto Alex multiverse sphere?
So there's 3 on Auto Alex, 3 on Top Dead Center, and 1. So 3, 6, 7. So yeah, probably 7 or 8 bits of content. Or, yeah, videos.
So you were at a show last weekend. You had
Yeah.
ShedFest the weekend before that.
Yeah.
And now you've got a Sam Fender concert tonight and a little
Yeah.
bit of time off.
Yeah.
How many videos ahead of you?
1. Yeah.
That's quite hard to keep to that upload schedule then,
It
right?
really is, yeah. And it does frustrate me when we release a video sometimes and it's not one of those big, we bought this car, we're going on this massive adventure thing, because those things take so much time to plan. And if we don't release one of those, it's, a bit more of a filler episode. You get comments saying, oh yeah, these guys have fallen off the wagon, it's shit again. And I'm like, oh, we have busy lives. Like, I've got a young family, everyone wants to get home, and, we all have problems as well. Being a YouTuber is not smooth sailing. It is, you live it, you breathe it, and it can be quite daunting. And it is all encompassing. Like, it takes over your life. So it does frustrate me sometimes when people also get frustrated from one video. But when we do the kind of big challenge videos where we go buy 3 or 4 cars and then go to far away places, that gets us ahead because we can film 4 episodes or 3 episodes in the matter of about 7 days. And then we have a little bit of breathing space and then it's relentless again. But then the editing takes so much time as well because I'm very heavily involved in editing as well. So just because we've shot a video doesn't mean that it ends there. It can be days of going through, watching hours worth of footage to make it as good as possible.
Would you... Toby's series going off in the corner. I told you these episodes are the most raw, uncarnaged thing that you can possibly imagine. Have you ever considered turning the comments off like permanently?
No. It's there for, people. It's there for free speech, really. And like I said, if people want to vent, they can vent. As long as it's constructive, that's absolutely fine. But sometimes I'll just read some comments. I'm like, I just don't know why you're commenting this anymore. So, I don't take anything to heart anymore. So people want to vent, that's absolutely fine. Some people are having a bad day and they want to make you feel bad. It's not fine to do that publicly, but people do it. It's the nature of the beast.
We're approaching the kind of summer period of trips and there's loads of events going on around the world. And last year I was lucky enough to join you in the US. Mm-hmm. You're going to be going back to the US, right, to be able to do some stuff this year?
We are, yes. At some point we need to go back to the US because I did end up buying a Mercedes G-Wagon for $3,000. Sorry. So that was a random spur of the moment purchase. So the plan is go to America, tart up this G-Wagon, drive it from Las Vegas to the East Coast, and then get it shipped to the UK. And then I would love to then drive it from the UK back to Germany, where that car originates from. Because a couple drove it from Germany to Panama, and then the car broke down, and then it randomly ended up in Las Vegas. So I think it was like an old fire truck or something like that. It's got like a hatch in the roof. It's really cool. And it deserves to be saved. So that's what we're going to do.
The evening we drove out, it was actually me, Taylor, and Rory. Did you see the place we went in the middle of the desert? If anyone ever goes to
for food,
Vegas, no, in Boulder City, it was the dead cars ghost town. It was a ghost town. I'm sure it's called the Nelson Ghost Town, just outside. Have you ever visited?
I've not. No. It looked
cool. My goodness, this is like an outdoor Zach's garage that's been left to rot for 100 years, but I think people have literally just placed cars and then made it kind of look like that, and then times
it's not there by
the
mistake.
But you'd be really surprised into thinking that it was.
100%.
I think for anyone that visits the US and especially visits that area, that is somewhere that you need to go. But for you, who's clearly enjoyed your US trips a lot and going on more, you had to choose between like the European road trip adventures and the US ones. Which kind of side would you sit on?
Oh, that's difficult. I've done more in Europe. I would say I've done a lot more in Europe.
Is that because the Nürburgring's a thing?
Do you know what? We haven't been to the Nürburgring for like a year and a half. And people say that we've been there so much, but we haven't. We don't actually go there that much, but maybe they're the most memorable videos. No, it's not because of that. I do love going to the Nürburgring. Driving there is a bit of a passion of mine, and I love all the people there. But if it was a toss-up between America and Europe, you can get more content out of America, weirdly, because there's just more stuff to do. But I would say I'm more passionate about Europe because there's more cultures in Europe, and you know, different languages. I love all the different languages and different people that we meet.
I'm desperate to see you in Europe in that Ferrari, enjoying it, because Ferrari's like a brand that means so much to me. Like, I remember seeing a LaFerrari on the motorway when I was 11 years old for the first time. It might have just been 12. It was around that, at 6 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
And I still remember seeing it. Like, that's why it means so much to me, like those supercar brands, because they just are imprinted on my head. And like, you know how you would love to see me more passionate about the 206 GTI or whatever?
A 309 GTI. Do you know what? I wouldn't want to see you more passionate about that.
Would you not?
That's not your passion. That's
Yeah, but
my
do you
passion.
not
It
like
doesn't matter.
sharing the passions and seeing someone go,
No.
oh, actually, I thought this, but I was wrong.
No, we just like different things, but we ultimately love the same thing, which is cars and the car community. Like, you just love nicer, more expensive, faster things. I love a different end of the scale. It's totally fine, and it's cool that you love that stuff. Someone has to love that stuff. Someone also has to love that stuff.
I feel bad critiquing it, because I've now got to a very lucky point that I've driven so many things that I now start to look at very nice things that cost a lot of money,
Yeah.
and then pick them apart
Mm.
and go like, I think the steering in my Performante is rubbish.
Yeah. Okay.
It has
Don't say it too loudly.
it-
You'll have a
but-
cease and desist.
but it has no feeling.
Mhm.
It's completely numb.
Yeah.
And if you get in a McLaren,
It's a modern car, man.
balls all over it because
Yeah.
it's mechanical.
Yeah. Well, I mean, older cars, mechanical steering. You can't fight that, can you? Also, you know, you said about the LaFerrari as an 11-year-old. I have the same memory
With the
as
993.
No. I think I was 15 at the time, driving to Germany with my mum to see my grandmother. And that car wasn't a Ferrari. It was a Fiat Coupe 20-valve turbo. We were on the Autobahn. It dropped a gear and it disappeared. And I thought, that's the coolest car in the world. I have to own one day. And I did. So, Italian, but not quite a supercar.
If you had to choose between German and Italian,
German.
favourite car brand?
Favorite car brand. To do what?
I feel like BMW's on the tip of your tongue.
Yeah, to do...
Between BMW and Porsche.
Definitely between BMW and Porsche. And I have now got my ultimate BMW, which is it probably won't tell you anything, E46 BMW M3 Touring.
I'm determined for the long-term success of this podcast
Yeah. And our friendship.
to own vehicles that I wouldn't normally purchase to see if they have an effect on me that I can then talk about.
I think you'll be surprised.
I have never owned a BMW.
Okay, that's fine.
And Chris Slicks all the time tells me that I should, because
Yeah.
he is also an absolute advocate, and he's had some mental ones and made them silly power, and he's still got his M3 and absolutely loves it. And I'm like, which one would I choose if I did have one? I think I would have, are you ready for this?
Yeah.
A manual
Oh.
M2.
Oh, would you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Not competition, a manual M2.
Okay. That's all right. Bit
What-
modern though, isn't it?
What should I have? Do you
Do you
think
like a
I would
V8?
genuinely have more fun with like a manual E46 M3?
E46 M3, obviously not as fast, about 340 brake, but I think it would stir your soul a bit more. I think it's more pure. Also another option, E92 M3 V8. I think you'd get on well with
Is that
one
the
of those.
older one, or is that slightly newer than the one we were talking about? I'm
It's
so bad
it's
with
the
BMWs.
generation after the E46.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's the one.
So
I think
manual
I like.
V8, really good looks, really beautiful. That engine's fantastic. So maybe have a little look at an E92 M3 and then see if it changes your mind. I think you'll like that.
Well, this episode was about save the cars, and maybe there's one out there that needs saving that I need to go and get in. And
Yep.
next time I have you on, I will talk about it. So I appreciate your 45 minutes or so of absolute waffle to
That's
fill
all right.
somebody's day up. And
What
for
cars have we
joining
saved?
me, we've saved a Ferrari 360 that you weren't going to work on
We have, yeah.
whatsoever, because you're actually going to work on it,
Yeah.
I'm told, and get it running and drive it.
And we've also saved an E92 M3 because you're going to buy one.
I genuinely think I might. Hold out your hand.
Hold out your hand. The next time I'm on here, you have to have bought an E92 M3. Otherwise, I'm refusing to come on. And then you can tell me your ownership experience.
Deal.
An E46 M3 will also do.
That's a deal, actually.
is a
I
deal.
will buy a
Okay.
BMW,
Yep.
drive it for 3 months,
Yeah.
and then I will let you know. It might be longer than that if I fall
Might
in
be.
love
Yeah,
with it.
exactly right.
And then I will let you know my ownership experience with it.
If you need a hand looking and finding one, let me know. I'm your man.
Taylor's going to be like sat there absolutely tingling right
Oh,
now.
we will.
isn't
Yeah,
he?
yeah. Tingle in his
He's-
dingle. Yeah. He'll find you a great car. E92 M3.
Why do I think it's always expensive when I have you on here? And your stuff's not supposed to be expensive, but I always leave with ideas.
Look, you can get into an E46, a ropey E46 M3 for about 8 or 9 grand now. It will need work, so if you live by the words of this podcast and this series, then you can get it fixed up and then do your bit for the car community.
Imagine, I worried about this last week with Freddie. I was sat there thinking, I feel like coming out of these general discussions about what the hell's been going on, cars and everything, I've just got this feeling that it's going to get expensive.
Really expensive.
And people are going to start selling each other cross deals on the podcast.
I love spending your money.
This is the problem. Other people do as well.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for coming on. Before you spend too much more of it, I'll shake your hand, sir.
Oh, no, you're right.
And we will see you again soon.
Fantastic.